Many of those resettled in Scotland, through schemes set up in response to foreign conflicts, are highly skilled individuals from a construction background, all of whom have the right to work in the UK but not necessarily the correct tickets to access construction careers. In 2018, Dundee City Council, who were working with Dundee and Angus College to help resettled adult learners access construction careers, did some research with colleagues in other local authority areas. The staff from Dundee found that lots of other places had also tried to do this type of work, and that there was a lot of duplication, with local authorities translating the same materials and spending the same time trying to find out information about how to access the construction industry. The Building Skills Together project comes from that research and the work carried out by local authorities across Scotland to help new Scots use their skills in Scotland's construction industry. It is a New Scots Refugee Integration Delivery project led by Dundee City Council, who are working in partnership with Fife and Clackmannanshire Councils and WEA Scotland to help skilled refugees gain the certification they need to work in the construction industry. It aims to create resources to help people get into construction and at the same time demystify the process for local support workers. With funding from the Scottish Government and the EU Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund, partners have developed 2 training courses for beginner and intermediate students, which gives non-native speakers the language and knowledge they need to pass the CSCS operatives test. At the end of the project, these materials will be available to download free of charge to any individual or ESOL trainer across the UK to help adult learners pass the CSCS test. It is believed that these materials will also be of assistance to native speakers with literacy and numeracy barriers to their learning. Having passed an IOSH or REHIS health and safety test, and the CSCS test, participants will be able to apply for their CSCS card and begin to apply for jobs in Scotland's construction industry.
I've personally worked in the construction industry for over 30 years now, hoping to give some of that experience to the guys, benefit them in the next steps of their journeys. The first step they're taking is to try and achieve their CSCS cards, which is essentially, it's a little bit like a license to work on a construction site.
My name is Abdulhakim Afshin. I am from in Turkey. I live in Dundee for 2 years. Before I came to Scotland, I used to do white goods repair, electrical appliances repair, plumbing and construction. With useful course, I recommend to all repairmen and builders.
I'm Ahmed Al-Kadami. I'm from Yemen and I live in Glasgow. I've been in Scotland for 2 years. I've completed my master's studies in smart cities and communities December the last year, and now I'm trying to apply for a job in construction. Well, I'm hoping to find a job in building energy management. You know why? Because this will be the right fit for me as a combination of my background in civil engineering and also my recent course in sustainability, in smart cities and smart mobility and energy efficiency.
The people that we work with do not want to move into 0-hour contracts, low-paid jobs. These are people who are highly skilled, and we have an industry that are telling us that they need these skills. So we need to find a way to make these industries accessible. I think one of the challenges has been trying to ratify their skills and find a way of them transferring their skills without formal qualifications. I think giving employers the confidence to take them on is also a huge challenge, because I think we need to work hard with employers, not just taking them on, but also in how to support them and communicate with them once they're in the workplace.
I think probably the main one would be the employer the employer, the lack of willingness to engage with the migrant community. The barriers for some of our learners are really, really difficult for them to overcome, and I think it's just we need to be a voice for our learners, because for a lot of them they don't know who to talk to. They don't even, I think, realise that they are being discriminated against a lot of the time, and I think that this is, it's shown us really that there is a lot of discrimination for our learners out there, and that we need to really carry on working in partnership, carry on being a united voice to try and change things.
The main challenge is, I think, learning English, because the exam that the learners have to take is very difficult. It's very difficult for native speakers, so there's a lot of input that the learners have to do. I think on top of the language skills that often are on beginner or elementary level, there's a lot of life that people have to juggle. My learners have to either work night shifts. There's a lot of problems with childcare, commute often, college sometimes as well. So in the course that we just had, the learners were really, really good at attending the classes on top of their lives.
The impact of this project has given them the confidence to learn all about health and safety in the construction industry, whether or not they go into a large construction company or work for a smaller company or even set up by themselves. They have learned things that they never knew about in their own countries. For example, our environmental regulations, certain health and safety laws that we have in this country. So they've deepened their knowledge, they've deepened their vocabulary in their specialist field, and they've gained in confidence.
The exam that they take at the end of the course can help them get a better job and in a field that they're already familiar with, which they cannot do at the moment in the new country.
I think the strengths of the project have been the partnership working and the excellent support we've had from WEA. The tutors have been fantastic, and the learners have engaged very well. We've had very little dropout from a learner body that is generally quite hard to engage and retain. We've actually had a very little dropout, and we're very, very happy with the number of people who are progressing through their tests, passing their IOSH, and actually applying for their green cards now.
I think it's been really good to work together. I think that I have certainly learned a lot from working with other people who've got far more experience than me on projects like this.
Strengths of the project were definitely the materials. I think that first and foremost was very good. There was a great deal of depth, variety in the materials. So there was operating at a beginner level. There was also intermediate and advanced levels that I could have had access to had I had the learners for that. But for the levels that I was working with, it was very comprehensive in terms of the activities they could engage with. There was a mixture of productive tasks, which involved writing or speaking, alongside receptive tasks that were on the listening side, which were also additionally complemented with the exercise books that came from the construction industry.
Yes, it's been really good to focus on something that is a real life skill and could be a proper improvement of our learners' lives. So working towards a qualification has been really that's been really rewarding, and from my point of view, one of my learners have already passed their exam, so I'm really happy for them. We're looking forward to hearing from another learner as well, and I'm sure they will pass as well.
One of the strengths of this project has been seeing local authorities and voluntary sector partners from across Scotland coming together to work towards the same goal. And it's been great to see us working across geographical boundaries, which of course are, don't exist for the people with whom we work, or for the construction industry themselves. At the end of the project, we'd really like to be seeing the people that we work with move into meaningful employment.
We've done a skills audit, so we know to what extent the learners have skills, whether it's joinery or painting, decorating, electricians, plastering. So we have a huge pool of very experienced skills tradesmen, as well as quite a few professional postgraduate engineers with project management experience. So I think we have a very talented pool of people there who are ready now to enter the Scottish workplace.
These are highly skilled people who want to use their talents in Scotland to give back to the communities in which they live.